All right, welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep into a fascinating situation playing out in Cape Town, South Africa.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one.
We've got a whole bunch of articles and research papers.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to figure out what's going on with Airbnb, digital nomads, and
Their impact on housing?
yeah, housing crisis in Cape Town.
Yeah, it's pretty complicated. Lots of different factors at play.
It is. It is. One thing that really caught my eye, just looking at all this stuff, was the sheer number of Airbnb listings in Cape Town.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just in the City Bowl alone, there are over 16,000.
Wow, that's a lot.
16,000. Imagine all those places that could be long-term rentals.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, right?
Oh,
Like,
it does.
can a city be this, like, global tourist destination
Yeah.
and still be affordable for,
For the people who live there.
yeah, for the people who actually live there?
I mean, that's kind of the central question here, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. And you're right, the rise of these short-term rental platforms like Airbnb is definitely a huge factor in all of this. And the stuff we've been reading, it paints a pretty clear picture. One resident even said it feels like their neighborhood is turning into a hotel.
Wow.
They're being pushed further and further away from the city center.
I mean, it's not just anecdotes, though, right? We've got hard data, too.
Oh, absolutely. There's a study, I think it's this one right here, that found a direct link between more Airbnb listings and rising rents.
In certain areas.
Yeah, in specific neighborhoods for sure.
Okay, so that's a pretty clear connection. But what's being done about this? Are there any rules, regulations in place?
Yeah, there are some, but it's kind of all over the place. I mean, Cape Town does make hosts register with the city and pay those tourism levies.
Oh, right.
But some people say that's just not enough,
Yeah, it's not really cutting it.
Not really making a dent in the problem.
Well, what about other places? Are there any cities out there that have regulations that are actually working?
Yeah, people always bring up Amsterdam. They put a cap on entire home Airbnb rentals, like 30 days a year max.
Oh, wow, that's pretty strict.
It is, and they have a really strict registration system, too.
Yeah.
And listen, it hasn't magically fixed everything there,
Right.
but it has helped to control the,
Real growth.
the crazy growth of these short-term rentals. Maybe Cape Town could learn a thing or two from them.
Yeah, maybe so. But let's zoom out for a second. We've been talking about Airbnb and all that, but there's this other big issue in Cape Town that we can't ignore.
Oh, you mean?
The income inequality.
Yes, exactly.
That's huge.
I mean, it's massive, right? And you always hear about the average income in a city, but that can be so misleading.
Absolutely.
We really need to be looking at the median income to get a real sense of what typical residents are earning.
Right, because the average can be skewed by
By those outliers.
the super rich, yeah.
And in Cape Town, that gap between the average and the median is like,
It's massive. It tells you that there's a very small percentage of people holding a lot of the wealth.
and everyone else is kind of struggling.
Yeah, struggling to keep up.
So how does this income disparity tie into this whole housing crisis thing?
Well, it creates this like two-tiered system, right? You've got the wealthier residents. A lot of them are earning foreign currency too.
Oh, interesting.
And they can easily handle these rising rents. They
Yeah.
might even be buying up properties as investments.
Oh, so they're actually part of the problem.
Yeah, in a way, they're contributing to driving those prices even higher. But then you have people who are earning closer to the median income.
Who are getting squeezed.
Totally squeezed. They're the ones who are getting priced out of their own neighborhoods.
And then on top of all of this, we have the,
The digital nomads.
the whole digital nomad thing exploding, right?
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. I mean, you see articles all the time about Cape Town being this digital nomad hotspot. It's all...
Beaches and laptops.
Mhm.
Yeah, pictures of people working on their laptops with Table Mountain in the background. It's a pretty nice picture, I gotta say.
It is appealing, yeah. And Cape Town is really pushing that image.
Yeah.
I mean, you see websites, social media campaigns, all specifically targeting remote workers.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They're talking about the lifestyle, how affordable it is, the natural beauty, all of it.
But, if housing is already a problem for people living there,
Right.
doesn't influx of digital nomads who are often, let's be honest, earning more money,
Yeah.
doesn't that just make the problem worse?
That's what a lot of locals are worried about.
Rightly so.
They're saying, is anyone even asking us about this? Like, is this whole marketing push really transparent? And are they even thinking about what might happen to the people who already live here?
Right. So we've got this housing crisis, we've got Airbnb, we've got income inequality, we've got the digital nomad boom. I mean, What can be done? What are the solutions here?
Well, we talked about stricter Airbnb rules, right? But there's got to be more. Affordable housing initiatives are key. Look at a place like Vienna. They have tons of social housing.
Okay.
Or Singapore, the government builds housing that people with all kinds of incomes can actually afford.
Interesting.
Maybe Cape Town could try something like that.
Yeah. What about using some of that tourist money to fix the housing problem?
Oh, that's a great idea. They could have a special tourism tax.
Right.
And all the money from that would go directly to building affordable housing.
So the tourists are actually helping to, you know,
Contributing to the solution.
yeah, to the solution.
Yeah.
But it makes you wonder, is all this tourism money influencing the policies in the first place?
That's a good point.
I mean, are they putting profits ahead of the well-being of the people who live there?
That's a tough question. It's like, how do you balance promoting tourism with protecting residents? It's a balancing act.
It really is.
For sure.
So there you have it, folks. We've just taken a deep dive into the housing situation in Cape Town.
We've covered a lot.
We have. And we've seen how Airbnb, digital nomads, income inequality, all of it is playing a part.
Yeah, it's definitely complicated.
It is, but understanding what's going on is the first step.
Absolutely.
So as you go about your day, we want you to think about this. What if you were in charge of housing policy in a city that was dealing with all these same challenges? Could you find that balance? Could you attract tourists and digital nomads, but also make sure that the people who already live there aren't getting left behind? It's a tough question, but it's one worth thinking about.
It really is.
Thanks for listening.
See you next time.